Welcome aboard BioTrek Sailing. We are Pierre, Lisa, and Tiller, now sailing in French Polynesia in the South Pacific. Subscribe and join our adventures. We sailed to Makemo in our last episode, and the main sheet broke loose, a potentially dangerous situation, and at the end of this video I'll show you how we fixed that problem and provide a link. We've enjoyed meeting people who live in Makemo and tasting coconut crab. Makemo is an atoll about 70 kilometers long and 10 kilometers wide. Makemo's lagoon is the third largest in the Tuamotus. And the atoll has a population of about 600, with almost everybody living in town. The town has a Catholic church, an elementary school, and an airport. And the main activities are pearl farming and copra production. There are virtually no tourist facilities on the atoll, so it's best to visit here by boat. This is just one of the many unspoilt atolls in the Tuamotu region. We keep a track on our map of the boat's path, and we mark the unmarked heads, and so we can travel back along our path to the town fairly easily when we don't have optimal sunlight. So we traveled back to town late in the afternoon, and we anchored nearby. The town has a dock for supply ships, and the ship arrived in the morning. I headed to town to pick up some fresh supplies, only to find that the ship was selling a few things from the dock. When I arrived at the dock, I was lucky to find some fresh tomatoes and carrots. After I purchased those few fresh things, Pierre came to pick me up by dinghy, and we stopped by our friend Philippe. He was heading to the Society Islands. Later that morning, we took the public bus to the airport to meet our family, and Pierre's sister Louise and brother-in-law Jean-Martin had arrived by airplane. They had sailed with us in the Tuamotus 14 years ago and were looking forward to sailing with us again. From the main dock, we traveled by dinghy back to our boat, and we swung by our friends on Ticket to Ride, a boat that we had met earlier on the southern anchorage of Makemo. It's kind of easy to meet other cruisers when you're the only two boats in an anchorage, and so we really had fun with them, and we also experienced some pretty bad weather together. So we have our friends from a very nice boat, an HH.
55.
Yes. 55 called Ticket to Ride.
And we're enjoying our time on BioTrek. With Tiller.
It's awesome. Mm-hmm. So nice to meet you guys.
Yes, very nice to meet you guys.
So we had a nice pizza dinner on your boat, and now we're having tacos on my boat.
I know. I'm very excited for these veggie tacos.
And we have a little shelter from the southeast wind right here too.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
We're the only two boats in this beautiful anchorage, but it's a little windy tonight, and it's blowing. It was just 32?
Yep.
We're down to 31 right now.
We're
a mile 31 knots now.
There it is, true wind speed.
Oh, I thought it was up there, sorry.
Yes.
Show the graphic on the left side.
Oh.
On the bottom left, yeah. That's
there we go.
Oh yeah, look at this. Winds up and down.
Average of 20.
But what's kind of crazy, Pierre, is the wind direction is changing a lot. I'd also like to point out to our viewers what you're seeing on our time zero chart is the shaded area is our anchor alarm circle. The red is how our boat is swinging at anchor, and the red lines you can see where we dropped our anchor, and that green circle is where Pierre has marked a head that we need to watch out for. Our friends on the HH sailboat Ticket to Ride, who were also in town, but they were not lucky to score any fresh food when they arrived at the ship dock, and so it goes in the Tuamotus, where it's important to always keep the boat well provisioned with frozen and canned food. Tiller greeted us when we arrived. Tiller was coming to the end of a 6-month quarantine period, and we would be released from quarantine when we returned to Papeete and got the all-clear health check from biosecurity. Being in quarantine on a 59-foot boat was not too bad because she got to paddleboard, take dinghy rides, and swim. And this quarantine was really my fault because I had not contacted biosecurity in advance, months in advance of arriving in the French Polynesia, because it takes a bit of time to get everything in order. Tiller's rabies shots were up to date, and she had had antibody titer tests showing a very high protection against rabies. French Polynesia does not accept the 3 years rabies vaccine that's typically given to 2-year-old dogs in the United States. The vaccine must be a specific one and must be updated yearly, together with an antibody titer test. Don't get me wrong, I agree with the strict policy on rabies here in French Polynesia, which is a rabies-free area of the world. Questions about sailing with the dog are welcome, just put them in the comments below. So with Tiller still in quarantine, we spent most of our time in beautiful anchorages where she could swim for exercise. And after we picked up our guests, we headed back to the southeast corner of Makemo, keeping a sharp eye out for patat, or coral head, along the way. Anchored in a spot that we knew well, and in a place that Ticket to Ride was calling the Purple Garden. There is an abundance of purple coral fish around the numerous coral heads there, and it's really beautiful. In the last episode, I explained that colorful coral can be a sign of colorful bleaching. This is a protection reaction to bleached coral. They synthesize pigment to protect the symbiotic algae that live with them so that they can remain together and stay healthy. This happens under sea conditions that cause bleaching. This whole area is covered in water at high tide. It's extreme low tide right now. It looks like a moonscape. And the poor wild dogs on the island will come out here. And it's very low tide, so they can come and find things to eat, like sea cucumbers and things. I don't know what I did.
Moi les filles.
Un gâteau de fête, quand même.
Que Louise aide à faire pour sa
Non,
fête.
non, non, Louise a fait rien. Louise regarde.
I haven't even looked in the mirror this morning. Oops. We were in a beautiful location to celebrate Louise's birthday. And then an overnight sail to the South Pass to Fakarava, where we could enjoy diving and snorkeling in the pass. But first we had to make our way up to the entrance to the atoll so we could exit the pass to head over to Fakarava. We've put the mainsail up already. See one there. And we are just looking for les patates. Kiara and I like to retrace the path, and we both keep a sharp lookout because it's easy to lose focus with the task at hand. We have full sunlight, and we're retracing our path. So I'm starting here for the path. It's always a relief to be out to sea after we have exited the pass and not have to worry about all those unmarked coral heads. It's perfect for putting up the code D. Nice and easy sailing. The winds are light enough that we can jibe the code D without rolling it. Let it go!
Nice.
Success. All done.
Isn't this better?
Birthday dinner.
Going
Going 6.5 knots. That's what I like. Slow sailing. It's so much fun. Slow sailing. Easier, more fun.
That's enough for me.
You can all sit down at a table and have a meal. The next morning at sunrise, we were just arriving towards the pass, and so we rode the Col D in preparation for going through the pass. Ahead you can see the South Pass of Fakarava. We've timed the entrance for near slack tide, but they're always interesting to enter.
Okay, we made it.
Yeah. We're following our tracks through the shallow area, which is here. Not pretty. Anchoring or navigation mistakes in the Tuamotus can be disastrous. In Fakarava, we anchored in Hirifa. It's the perfect place for wingboarding. It has beautiful beaches. The water is clear for swimming. We never see any sharks here, but there are lots of remoras. These fish are always under the boat, which creates some diversion and interest for tiller when we throw anything in the water. Well, it's like a purple sky tonight. Oh, beautiful. You met Eliza in episode 114 because she puts on events at a small beach restaurant. We had a fun evening of music with a dinner of coconut tuna, barbecue chicken, and fresh heart of palm.
There's a guy, he's the #1 music saint in Polynesia, a guy by the name of Bobby Halcomb. He passed away 25 years ago. When Polynesian culture was going down, 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 and the culture was kind of falling down, Bobby helped rebirth the Polynesian culture in the 70s and early 80s. And now he made Polynesian cool. Cool. And now the culture will never die. Six years I've lived in the desert, and every night I dream of the sea. They say home is where you find it, but this breeze ever satisfy me. Tofenua, Tofenua. My island home.
Honestly, I feel a little emotional at this point while editing this video. Polynesians love music, and the words to their music have so much meaning. They're so lovely and emotional. They're always giving attributes to the beauty of their land and to their culture. Pierre and I are so glad we decided to stay longer in French Polynesia, rather than rushing through this beautiful region of the world. So for those of our viewers who are not sailors, maybe just dreaming of it, there are a number of small little pensions in Fakarava, and Air Tahiti goes just about everywhere. It is possible to get here without a sailboat. Some of the atolls don't have facilities for lodging, but Fakarava is one of those out-of-the-way places. It's a UNESCO site. It's fabulous. I recommend everybody who loves snorkeling and who loves the beauty of the water should see this place.
My island home is waiting for me. That's your host right there.
Yes.
She's running to check on the rice she's cooking. She's more worried about the rice. She just killed it.
Check out all those coral heads, the dark spots in the water. Such a beautiful place to anchor. A charity that we support is the Alliance to Cure. They are creating awareness of cerebral cavernous malformations, a type of vascular brain tumor that is silently hiding in the brain in 1 in 500 of us. For more information or to donate to research as we do, please see the description below. In our next video, we continue to explore the Tuamotu region. And if you want to see some fabulous views of the Tuamotus, click on one of these two videos here. Subscribe to our channel to see more adventures.